What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today's video I'm going to be going over my full fishing kayak camera setup. I'm going to go over the mic, we're going to talk about the pole, the case, everything that I use to film my adventures all day long, and also how I'm able to maneuver it around the boat and get those really cool shots that I get. Stick around. Alright, so a lot of you guys have been messaging me and asking me about my camera setup, so I figured I'd make a quick video to go over exactly how I use it and what I use on the back of my kayak to get those over-the-shoulder shots when I'm out fishing on the water and how I'm able to film all day. Now, I did make a video about this. I'll put a card somewhere in here or in here somewhere, but I did make a video about a year ago on how to build this this rod. It's a telescopic rod, so when it goes on the back of the kayak, you can go way up with it. I mean, this thing, it goes way out there. But I'm not going to go over that in this video. I'm going to link my other video on how I made this. I did step-by-step instructions on how I made this and how I'm able to attach it to the back of the kayak and all that. I'm going to touch on some of that in this video, but mainly I just want to talk about the camera that I use, the mic that I use, and why I chose to go this route, you know. So first thing is, you have to have, I film with a GoPro Hero 5. Now the GoPro Hero 5, everybody knows the GoPros have really, really bad audio. Basically like the audio you're hearing right now, because I'm having to film this with my cell phone because I've got my camera in my hand. I can't film the camera with the camera. So that was a predicament I ran into when I decided to make this video. I was like, well, all I have is other GoPros like this with no mic and then this GoPro. So anyway, sorry about the quality of the sound in this video. It is echoey. We're in the garage and I'm filming with my iPhone 10. So hopefully the quality is good though. So anyway, I film all of my adventures all day long on the back of my kayak over the shoulder with a GoPro Hero 5. Now, the Hero 5, like I just said, the audio sucks. So you have to get an external mic. If you want good audio, you have to get an external mic. And the mic I went with was the Rode Video Micro. And I'm not used to filming with this cell phone, so I don't know how good these shots are gonna be, but it is the Rode Video Micro. And what you'll need though, before you can do anything, because GoPro makes it so complicated, but in the end, after, I'm gonna gripe about GoPro not allowing us to have good audio, and then you gotta buy these extra stuff. Once you get the setup set up, it's really good. I get really good footage with this. I get really good audio, really good clips, and it lasts all day long, the way I set it up. So, but what you got to buy is you have to buy this Pro 3.5 millimeter mic adapter. You can get it on Amazon. I'm gonna link everything that I use today in the video description up underneath this video. So if you see something you're interested in, click on the video description, find the link, and then you can go see exactly what I'm using. But I think you can get these for 50 bucks. Like I said, it's GoPro. You're buying the name, and it's the only person that makes one of these that I'll actually adapt to the GoPro. So if you want good quality sound, not like what you're hearing right now, but good quality, you have to be able to put a mic on it, and in order to put a mic on it, you gotta buy one of these. So I'll link it in the video description if you're interested. But what you do is this plugs into the side of the camera, and then you have to buy a couple more things. You have to buy the Rode Video Micro. They also make a different off-brand one. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it looks just like this one, and the reviews I've seen, they're basically the same mic, and they're almost the same price too. So I think the Rode was a little bit more, but I went with it because it's got a name to back it up. So I went with the Rode Micro. But when you order the Rode Micro, you have to make sure you get the one, and I'll link it, that comes with the right cable. There's different cables out there and you'll look at the back of that cord and you'll say, man, I've got that cable and it's not working. Well, then you don't have this cable. These cables have little lines on them to indicate, the actual mic. There's all the 3M mic adapters or plugs or whatever these are called are not the same. They are different. You have to make sure you get the right one. I have an example here of a Rode Video mic that I did buy, and I can't use it because I bought there went my dead cat. I can't use it because I bought the wrong adapter. This adapter is completely different than the one that you're seeing dangle here. And you can tell because this end's gray and black, and this one's black and black. They kind of color code them. And maybe I can get the shot for you. You can see, probably not. You see the lines? This one has 3 black lines and this one only has 2. Apparently that's the big difference. So I bought the wrong cord. Anyway, I'm gonna get the right cord because I plan on ordering another GoPro soon. That's why I have this extra mic adapter here so I can use it. But, okay, so now you've got the mic adapter, you've got the GoPro. Now you wanna start filming. So you can't just, I have seen people out there take a regular case and kind of glue and Velcro and, you know, make it stick so you can have your mic on top and stuff like that. Or you could just bite the bullet and order this case. Let's see if I can get it in the camera for you. This case right here, Yolandi. I'm not sure if that's Volonzi or Yolandi. I'll link it below. But the case is made in China. They might make them here now. Like I said, I bought this almost a year ago, but I got it off Amazon. This one's the best one that I've seen so far though, because it's got the sliding back door and you can get your camera in and out through the back and be secure that it's locked in. There's some other ones out there, I think, that are like this. But they've got little screws that screw in the side and they kind of pinch the camera and hold it in place. Well, I didn't want to trust a screw holding it. I would rather have this door, you know, that slides in, clips into place, and you know your camera's not going to fall out the back. But what's special about this case is it has, I think this is called a shoe mount at the top. It's got this little mount thing right here. And when you order your Rode, you're going to get one of these little things. And I've got another one here. It's going to look just like this. And it's got the little foot on it with a screw, and what it does is, you know, it just slides right in there, and then you turn this and you lock it on, and this is what holds your, there it is. That's what holds your mic right there. So you have to use this case to do that. And not only that, that's not the only reason you're gonna get this case, just because of that shoe mount, because there's a ton of GoPro cases out there that have shoe mounts on the side, the top, you know, everywhere. You're also gonna want this case for this little addition right here on the bottom. This little addition here, and I'll see if I can take it out. I haven't taken this thing out forever. Holds your mic adapter up under the camera. See how that is? You slide it in. Because if you didn't have this case, you would have to plug this to your mic on top, and then you would have this dangling around plugged to the side of your camera, and it's kind of heavy. And a lot of people, you know, they'll Velcro it to the back of our case or to their side. And I mean, there's ways you can get by, but I like doing things, you know, right the first time, or I try to. So I ordered this. This, you just slide it back through, and that's all it is. You plug it to your camera. It holds it in place. You don't have nothing dangling around. You plug it up. And what's really, really cool about these is what I'm gonna show you here in just a second with the all-day power. It still gives you that, I think it's called a mini HDMI or whatever that plug is right here. It's the same one that you would use to charge. So you take up that slot on the camera with this mic adapter. So since you take up that slot, you would have no way to run all-day power. So they added you one on here so you can still run your charger all day long with no problems at all. So that's the camera setup that I use. It's the Hero 5. It's got the Rode Video Micro on the top. It's got this case. I'm going to link it all below. I'm going to make sure the links are up to date for you guys too. So if you are interested in setting this up on the back of your kayak, you can. Once you do that, you just order a long cable, and I don't have it on me. I think it's actually on my boat because I run this camera on my bass boat and on the back of my Hobie. And the way I do that is, and if you want to see how this is built, remember, I'm going to link the video at the end of this video description, and I'll put some more cards up in here showing my other video where I built this telescopic pole and it locks into you. And the good thing is the way I built this, you don't have to worry about bumping it and knocking it out. I use lock-in Scotty locks, and that's what I'm going to show you here. There's a couple of different kinds you can use. You can use this high top one. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's the one that just sits on the boat, and there's 4 screws that screw straight down. And that's you put 4 holes in your boat, you know, because you have to screw those bolts down, or you can get a backing plate, which is what I did. I got a backing plate with bolts and nuts, and they hold it in place for me. But you always buy the locking Scotty mount. Don't buy just a regular Scotty mount, because the regular Scotty mount means that you can put something in it and pull something right back out. And you don't want that. You don't want to be able to pull this out at any time unless you're mashing an unlock button. And that's what these have. And I'll try to show it to you. This is the flush mount. See how it's got that lock there? You click it over to lock. Once you put your camera pole in here, let's see if I can show you. When you slide that camera pole down in there, and you got it locked, it's not gonna come back out. You don't have to worry about knocking it out of your boat or anything. You're not gonna lose your camera using a locking mount. But if you use one that's unlocked and you reach around and you bump it, it's gonna pop it straight out. Now I can't even pull this thing out. Oh, I had it unlocked. So you put it on lock and then it just slides right out. So when you're gonna do this build, if you plan on doing this build and you plan on adding a camera to the back of your boat and you wanna go this route with the GoPro, you can use my full setup, including this. This is a lifesaver. I love the telescopic part of this because I don't know if you've seen one of my recent videos. I did a video on my Lowrance unit, and if you watch the video, I think I titled it 1 year later. I did a 1 year later review on how I like the Lowrance unit that I have. And my camera is always, is this in shot? Yeah. So my camera is always behind me like this. And I usually got it, you know, up pretty high, somewhere in there. Now I'm out of frame on there, but I usually got it up pretty high over my shoulder, and I'm filming this way. What I did was I wanted a good shot for you guys on the screen of my Lowrance. So I loosened up these little things here with these Scotty mounts that I built. The full description on how I built it, like I said, links in the description, and I'll link it in this video. But what I did is I loosened it up, and I tightened it back where I wanted it. And then I took my camera, aimed it at the screen. Then I did I pulled the little telescopic deal out there. And that's how I filmed that whole video for you guys. One thing I will say, if you're filming and you're using this setup, and if you go to, let me show you. And sometimes I film like this. I'll film half a video and then I'll realize, oh crap, I messed up. So these mics are one directional. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But if you don't, I'm gonna try to explain it a little bit. So they're one directional, so if the mic is facing away from the camera and I'm filming like this, and I'm behind the camera filming and talking to you guys, or talking to the mic, it's gonna be very faint. You're barely gonna be able to hear me because the mic is one directional. It's only picking up everything in front of it. So what I have to do, I have to remind myself when I'm filming, when I've got it behind me, my mic is in front of the camera because I'm in front of the camera, and when I'm talking to it, you can hear me just fine. But sometimes when I'm doing a walkthrough, like when we're working on the mothership, the big pontoon boat that I've been building for the past year. If you're new here, make sure you check it out. We're building a cool boat. But anyway, when I'm doing a walkthrough of that, and I'm talking to you guys, and I'm just walking around with the camera showing you, the progress or whatever I'm showing you, if I forget and don't turn the mic around, I have to redo it all again because it's so faint. None of the volume is going to be good at all. But it's easy to do. All you do is I just take and untwist that, and I just spin the mic around. You spin the mic around, and then you can talk directly into it. It's perfect audio, great audio. And I'm talking straight into the back of the mic, and I'm walking around the boat, and I'm showing you guys everything and talking to you about it, and it's getting everything. It picks up everything. But what you got to remember to do is once you get done doing this, I've done it a million times, learn from my mistakes. After I do a walkthrough and I'm talking to it, I'll stick it back on my boat, just like that. And then I'll go fishing. And I'll fish, for a couple hours, and I'll be talking to you guys the whole time while I'm fishing. And then I'll turn around and I'll notice that the dead cat is facing the back of the freaking boat. And you guys didn't hear a word I said the whole time I was fishing. Luckily, I don't catch a whole lot of fish, so you didn't miss out on nothing anyway. But if you forget and don't turn your mic around, it's gonna suck because then you're gonna be like, oh my God, I ruined that whole shot because you couldn't hear me. So it's got its pros, it's got its cons. I think the setup works really good. One thing that you're not gonna like about it is using this setup is not 100% waterproof. The GoPros are known to be waterproof. You can stick them underwater. You can't do this with this setup because in order to have, see if I can shoot, in order to have this hooked up at all times and then your power hooked to here at all times, which runs down to your battery box on your boat, make sure you check out the other video I've got in this same video, how to build your own power box. But I don't use that anymore. I'll do a quick shameless plug for my buddy at Icehold Power. This is what I use now. I use the Yak and Shak Power Pack. I plug it up, plug in my power cord, it runs down, it plugs directly into my Yak and Shak power pack, and I can run this camera all day long. I've got 128, I think it's 128 gig SD card in here, so I can run it all day long. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, so you're not gonna be completely waterproof. So, you know, these cameras with the door on, and you can pull the door on and off, you know, if you want to. When it's on and shut, you can take this camera underwater. But once you pull that door off, it's not waterproof anymore. And so a lot of times you'll see me, like I've got a lot of people that see me out on my kayak around here, and they'll come up and say hey to me. And if it starts to rain, they'll come up to me, and you know, I'll have a Ziploc bag. I keep a couple of Ziploc bags with me just in case, because I don't want to take all of this and try to cram it inside my kayak when it starts raining. So I'll just turn around and pull like a big Ziploc bag over it. And sometimes I'll even zip tie it to the pole to make sure no water gets in on it, you know, and then when it quits raining, I'll just pull the bag off and I can go back to filming. But I basically stop filming, you know, with this camera set up whenever it's raining. I don't use this in the rain. When it's raining, I use a different camera, and it's one that I started my channel with. I'll show it to you real quick. Got a video on this too, a long time ago. This was a couple years ago now. But this is the Olympus TG870. Trip Smith, he's a YouTuber on here. He showed me all about this. I went on a couple of ventures with him, and this is the camera that he started with too. He really liked this camera. Now I think he films like 90% of his stuff, or over 90% with his phone. So he's really gotten used to just filming things with his phone. But yeah, when it starts raining, I'll pull out, you know, one of my old cameras like this one. The audio is not going to be as good, but I'll still be able to film in the rain. And if it gets worst case scenario and I can't use this, I can always take the mic off, put the side door back on, and film regularly. But like I said, the mic sound's not going to be great. It's something you have to deal with GoPro, just like you're hearing right now with this echo. You're having to deal with this echo because I had no way to fix the sound on my cell phone. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it right there. If you do like this setup and you want to use this setup, links will be in the video description. Just click below in the video description. I'll put the links there. You can go directly to 90% of this stuff come from Amazon, except for the Yak and Shak power pack. If this caught your eye and you're interested in this, I'll link my buddies. I got a friend of mine up north. He actually makes these and sell these. I call him my friend now because he sent me this and I did a video on it. If you're interested in more about this, I'll link the video somewhere in here at the end of this video. You can check it out too. I did a full review on this box and it's amazing. Everything else is basically Amazon. I'll link it below. If you're interested in building this, I'll have it linked below and also at the end of this video, and you can check it out. So yeah, that's my camera set. That's my camera setup. I can't talk. And I think I'm gonna end it right there. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, check out some of my other videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.